Right, good afternoon. It's normally the morning when I'm checking in, but a bit later today as we are getting loads of cool stuff sorted for our inside sessions, which are starting again next week. And a few ladies just getting started with their 28-day kickstart. So these are going to them soon. Here's one for you. All the advice, I know it's backwards, all the advice you ever gave is for you to hear. Byron Katie. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is coming to that time. It is currently 3:36. The average time where people snack is 3:23 p.m. And what comes up in the one-to-ones quite a lot, so we have a one-to-one at the start of the kickstart. This is to nail down on essentially what works for you. Because ultimately, there's some people who come into the program where they're like, the more I think about food, the worse it makes me. And I totally get that. Like, you know, being policed, we hate that. Good afternoon, Julia. Being policed, no one likes that. And actually, you know, the more you're told, do this, it just works backwards. Other people, they love to be told what to do. That's why ultimately there's no one size fits all. So we have to consider, that's why fitting it to you is key. So we have this one-to-one and one of the ladies said, I don't know why I snack. I just kind of do it. Ever say that? If you do let me know. And I totally get that, because sometimes we're maybe procrastinating on something. So by procrastinating, we're delaying doing something that we're maybe stressed or anxious about. And eating feels like we're doing something, so we're not, our mind's taken off it. And this could be, sometimes we're not even aware of that. It's so deep rooted. Now consider that everything we do to change the way we feel. Right, if you really think deep down into it, everything you do because you want to change the way you feel right now. So if I'm eating because I'm hungry, I'm eating because I'm hungry to change that feeling. If I'm eating because I'm bored, I'm eating because I don't want to be bored anymore. If I'm eating because I'm tired, I'm eating because I don't want to be so tired anymore. But what if that relationship between the feeling that we want and how we feel right now isn't actually connected in any way? What if actually the feeling that we wanted and what we're doing to try and get that feeling doesn't actually coincide with each other? Because when I actually consider and ask people, okay, when you do snack, when you're not hungry, do you actually feel any better? People say maybe when I'm eating it and it doesn't last long, but then I'm actually feeling worse. And actually quite often, I then spend the next 8 hours or so, rightly or wrongly, beating myself up. And it's just interesting that if you consider that everything you do is to change the way you feel, what else could you do to change the way you feel? Number one. Number two, what would you say to a friend that came to you and wanted to feel a different way? So let's say a friend came to you and they said, I'm feeling really tired. What would you tell them to do? Sometimes, like I said, all of the advice you ever gave is for you to hear. Byron Katie, great quote. But anyway, what's practical that you could do today? So let's make this really practical, because I love practical tips because it means you go and do something. Let me know if you do try this. So what we came up with here was every time she gets the urge, because let's face it, it's just an urge to eat. That urge comes and we fulfill it. One, consider how long does that urge last for? Do you even know? Most people don't, because we just go and fulfill that urge. So what we came up with is she's going to wait 10 minutes. Now this is her rule, of course. She's going to wait 10 minutes, and then in that 10 minutes, she's going to start reading. If she gets carried away in the book, she's just going to get on with it. If after 10 minutes, she then wants to go and have the snack or food that she was going to have, she gives herself permission to have it. So she's not restricting herself. She's got permission, but she's just creating a little gap, a little stop in the circle of trigger, action, result. So instead of urge, eat, feel rubbish. Urge, insert, go and do something that I enjoy doing. I don't read enough and I love reading. Okay, I'm going to go and do that for 10 minutes. See how I feel. Then I'm going to give myself permission. So I'm not restricting. And it's important that you come up with these strategies. And this is why we have the one-to-one. Because for her, this is like, it's simple. I can action it. Going to be more aware. It's not going to work perfectly straight away. It's going to be imperfect. But that's fine. So for another one of the ladies, she just made the rule of everything she eats, before she eats it, she's going to write down what she's going to have. Notice how that affects your licks, bites, tastes. Did it earlier, in fact. Kids, half-eaten fruit everywhere. I was like, oh, bite of an apple's gone. Might as well eat that. Then I was like, you know what? Stopgap comes in. Do I actually need that? Why am I actually eating it? Procrastination. The more aware you can become of them, the more in control you're going to be. And sometimes I bring this up because sometimes we think it has to be so complicated, all this weight loss stuff, and I get it. It can seem really complicated sometimes. Low carb, fasting, all that stuff. I'll go into that a bit more detail tomorrow, I think. But actually, all as you need to do is sometimes look at the low-hanging fruit, aka the one thing that if you get a handle on will have the biggest difference. Because let's face it, most people know what to do. Doing it is another thing altogether. So what's one thing you could change today that would have the biggest impact? Whether it's wine, whether it's into snacking, whatever it is. So, recap. If you struggle with snacking, try that 10 minutes. So, when you get that urge, try something you love doing for 10 minutes. Could be ring a friend, could be read, could be have a bath, could be go for a walk. It's got to be something that you enjoy. Give that a try. Let me know how you get on. Then give yourself permission to have it after. I should say, what she came up with afterwards is she's going to have a hot chocolate, Cadbury's hot chocolate, if after reading she still fancies it. Permission, done. Choice, done. Awareness, that's the key thing. Hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. And have a lovely day.